when you are interested in radio reception, you don't have to buy a very expensive shortwave radio. Nowadays, 2026, we have the so-called digital reception, and that reception is done via the sound card of the computer. It's here, and we can see here, for instance, and there are many videos on YouTube about the same idea, the so-called waterfall, where you can here set your, via the mouse of the computer, set the pointer to the radio station that you want to receive. Anyway, I've published in the past this, say, kind of front-end amplifier, high frequency amplifier, made with simply a BC547B, that is normally a small signal transistor for audio, etc, but it worked very nice, and I will give the link in the description. And here I've also published this. This is a kind of sound filter. So for this reception, and that is software defined radio, that is the right word for it, you need a dongle and you need software, and you can buy the whole package via Ali or whatever other manufacturer, and the dongle, say, receives the radio signals via the antenna, transports it to sometimes a higher frequency or a lower frequency, and then it is detected via the sound card. And this is, say, the classical waterfall that you see in those cases. At the moment I'm listening on 7.2 megahertz. It's only a first idea. The good thing of such a program, SDR program, is that you can choose here file, you can choose here start DSP, so start digital processing, and stop digital processing. And here are the tools. The tools are here the remote control settings. They are of course very important. You can set here the filter shape of the radio. It's now normal, and I'm receiving now on AM, amplitude modulation, radio signals on shortwave, but you can also choose it here to, say, other modes. And I don't know why it doesn't work, but anyway, you can choose here normally lower sideband, single sideband, etc, etc. Let's close it, try it again. It doesn't want to close. Anyway, well, perhaps this is something I have to close first. Anyway, mode. Yeah, here you see narrow FM, narrow frequency modulation, lower sideband, upper sideband, CW, and low, etc, etc. So many things are possible with this more or less very modern type of radio reception. Well, let's listen. Now I'm on 7.2. A lot of noise, but say you can go here with the pointer to a certain radio station. And then, of course, you have to set that radio station to AM or FM or lower, LSB or USB, etc. etc. Anyway, so this is only, say, a very first idea about how to use this program. It's of course a computer program, and when you don't like to receive radio stations via a computer program, well, of course that is a serious thing. Anyway, it works very, very nice. This pre-tuner also works nice. I will give the link in the description. Let's try to find some other radio stations. I'm living in the Netherlands and now I'm listening here on 7.4 megahertz. And on that frequency, say in that frequency band, there are many Eastern European radio stations. This is also one, as far as I know, as far as I can see, etc. Anyway, let's get to another station. For instance, here is you see a peak. That means that there is a radio station. What's this? Well, this is kind of inaudible, but when you skip the band with the mouse here, and it's now in the early evening in the Netherlands, and when it gets dark, there are much better radio receptions possible. Anyway, it's on the indoor antenna, say 5 meters, hanging in my room. So let's go here to this. Well, that's the same radio station. I can go up with the mouse to 6 and also higher. 8. Well, this is 8 megahertz. Let's see what we can find here with these peaks. I'm still on the AM mode, amplitude modulation mode. Seems the same radio station to me. Anyway, let's look to another radio station. Also, you find very strange radio stations, and of course, let's try to find an amateur radio station on 3.5. I'm absolutely not sure that this will succeed, but say the waterfall shows here that there is here a kind of uplift in high frequency terms of the radio band that I want to receive, and I can say bring that down here by bringing the high frequency down. So I'm doing that now, and you can directly see that, say, the waterfall stops and there is no longer high frequency amplification. So here again, put the knob to the maximum. Say, you can see here that the whole radio band lifts up to a certain level. Anyway, I think there are no radio stations at the moment here. At least I cannot receive them. Radio amateurs, so let's go to 7.5 or so. Well, are there here radio stations? Of course they are here. And of course I have to tune here the antenna to a perhaps somewhat better position. I'm searching, of course, for a moment where the whole band here lifts up. So, what's this? Let's listen. Oh no. Don't know what this is. Anyway, let's go to this radio station. I think it's the same radio station. Anyway, of course that also depends on my antenna. That antenna is tuned to a certain frequency band. Well, I think it was not very convincing, but anyway, when it gets dark, you will surely hear many other radio stations, and that of course depends on your antenna and your local situation where you live on our beautiful earth, etc., etc. So, thanks for watching. Perhaps I'm going to do a new video where I want to receive in a more precise way certain radio stations and perhaps even radio amateurs on around 3.5 megahertz and in the 7 megahertz band. Thanks for watching.